Okay, so this is section 3.7. We were looking at multiplying and expanding polynomials. So when you're doing these problems, you have two options. We did it with arrows, multiplying every term in this binomial by every term in this trinomial, or in some cases we organize it using boxes. So I'm going to show the box method here. So you're going to put one of these polynomials along one of the sides of your box, and you're going to put the other polynomial along the other side. Leave yourself enough space. You'll be able to fill in a box. So in this case, because it's a binomial times a trinomial, we're going to end up with 6 terms when we multiply before we simplify. So we'll multiply 2x squared by x. So that's going to leave us with 2x cubed because now there's 2 x's and another x, so 3 x's in total. 6x times x would give us 6x squared because we have 2 x's. And then negative 3 times x gives us negative 3x. Next up, 2x squared times negative 3 gives us negative 6x squared. 6x times negative 3 gives us negative 18x. And negative 3 times negative 3 gives me positive 9. So at this point, before I write it all out, I would look at this to see what are some like terms. And by like terms, I mean things that have variables that are to the same power. So I have an x squared here and more x squareds here, so I can combine those. I have x's and more x's, so I can combine those. And there's no other x cubes, and there's no other numerical digits, so we cannot combine those. You'll notice in some cases that we're going to find these on the diagonal. So our final answer is going to be 2x cubed. I had 6x squared, but I take away 6x squared, so we actually have no x squared terms. Then I have negative 18x, and I'm taking away 3x, so I have negative 21x and plus 9. And that would be our final answer. Next up, we have a perfect square. So we just need to remember the square means we're multiplying this binomial times itself. So I could rewrite it as 5p minus 7t times 5p minus 7t. You need to multiply every single term in this binomial by every single term in this binomial. So I'll do this one with arrows, but you're very welcome to do it using the box method again. So 5p times 5p is 25p squared. Then we have 5p times negative 7 gives us negative 35t. Then we have negative 7t times 5p gives us another negative 35. Up here I noticed I forgot to put pt. And this one is also pt. And then the last term here is negative 7t times negative 7t, which gives us positive 49t squared. So last step is to simplify if you can. So we have negative 35 pt's and another negative 35 pt's. So we have a total of negative 70 pt's. And those t squareds and those p squareds cannot be combined with anything else, so this is our final answer. In our last problem here, we're looking at finding the area of the shaded region. So we're going to be taking the area of the big rectangle, which is 4x minus 1 times 3x plus 1, and we're going to be eliminating or subtracting the area of the small rectangle, which is 6x times 2x plus 3. So I'm going to look at these as two different problems. We're going to multiply this problem on the left and this problem on the right and then subtract. So we'll do the multiplication. 4x times 3x gives us 12x squared. 4x times 1 gives us 4x. Negative 1 times 3x gives us negative 3x. And negative 1 times 1 gives me negative 1. I'm going to simplify this one just one step further because I have 4 x's and I'm taking away 3 of them, so I only have 1 left. So at this point I've simplified this multiplication on the left. I can also multiply negative 6x into both, or I could just multiply 6x into both and subtract everything afterwards. The main thing you do need to remember is that we are subtracting every single thing here on the right. So if I do multiply that negative 6x in, I'm going to end up getting negative 12x squared and negative 18x. So at this point, we're looking for combining like terms. So we have some x squareds and some x squareds, and we have some x terms and some x terms that can be combined. So if I have 12x squared and I'm taking away 12x squared, I have no x squareds left. And then I have x and I'm taking away 18x, I have negative 17x left. And then I just have negative 1. So the area of the shaded region is negative 17x minus 1.